I don't know why he hates me. You know, I won Arkansas by a landslide. How the hell did that guy ever become governor of Arkansas? That's what I'm trying to figure out. But am I going to stand up there by guys with 0, 1, 2, 3%, maybe 4, and have them ask me hostile questions? And if I don't go to the debate, they say, I'm not saying this, but they say that the ratings are going to be very bad. So if I agree to do the debates, I get hit by a hostile network, but I also get hit by all these guys, and they are professional politicians. I mean, they're not stupid people. They just happen to be at 0. And they say, what about this, President Trump? What about this? And I look at the guy and say, you're at 0. You're asking me these questions. But you know, you want to have a smart president. And I think if you see me up there, even if I do well, I like the debates. I think I probably maybe won the presidency because of the debates. But at a certain point, you say, why are we doing these things? Why are we doing these things? So we'll see what happens. I haven't made a commitment one way or the other. Should I do them or not? Hold it. Now, wait a minute. Wait. Now take your entertainment cap, because for entertainment, everybody's going to say, do it. But now put on your political cap, right? We have to save our country. We have to win. Should I get up there with 10 or 12 hostile people and a hostile network and be abused with terrible questions? Okay, are you ready? So I'll go, should we do the debate or should we do the debate? Should we not do the debate? You people just want entertainment. I don't know. What do you guys think? Yes, Mike?
Do the debate all day, dog. You gotta let these motherfuckers know.
In the most recent Harvard-Harris poll, we're up by 40 points over DeSanctimonious he's all the way down to 12. Remember, he was surging at about 30. By the way, we were still winning, but we're winning much more since the persecution, by a lot more. And by the way, my women from North Carolina, would you please stand up? Look at this. They're beautiful women, and of course you're not allowed to say that anymore. That could be the end of my political career. I called them beautiful, I'm sorry. I apologize for calling. Now look, they're beautiful women, happily married. What number is this that you've come to rally? About 100. Yeah, it's about 100. Can you imagine? And sometimes they bring their husbands. And the husbands are nice. Oh, they're pointing. They're over there. You mean they couldn't get the good seats? You got the good seats. No. They've been, look at them. They're so incredible. And they've been to now, think of this. Where are the husbands? Stand up. You gotta be kidding. They put them in the bleachers. That's great. Well, they're great families. North Carolina, thank you very much. Oh. The front row Joes, please stand up. These people, you are so amazing. So we're really, we're going to start this whole thing. We did this a little bit early because we wanted to get it. It's hot, it's miserable, it's the dog days they call it. But we're going to be really heavy hitting around October. And we're going to remember you in October. You've always been there from us in good times, in bad. Front row Joes. Thank you, darling. They come out here sometimes 5 days early to make sure they get seats. So we love you. We do. Thank you very much. All of you. Thank you from North Carolina. In the most recent Harvard-Harris poll, we're up 40 points with Trump at 52 and DeSantis at 12. And actually, it's very interesting because there are a lot of people on his heels, and we're dominating Biden in the general election, very importantly. We are at 45, and he's at 40. Don't forget, the Democrats start off with a big advantage. They think they have the unions. I happen to think the unions, the workers, except for the corrupt officials that head the unions. I mean, I've seen unions where the guy's a total Democrat, there's nothing you can do, and they end up getting fired because they endorse Hillary or they endorse Biden. But we have a lot of the people in the unions with us. I think we have largely a majority. But they have civil service, and they have others. They have people. I don't want to go into it exactly, because people say that's not a nice thing to say. But they have a base of 35 or so. And we start off with nothing. You got to win that whole East Coast. You got to do exactly as we did, and actually as we did twice. We did it twice. We have to do it now a third time. We're going to do it a third time. But we're up 5 points, and very importantly, because you know they keep talking about the independent voters, we're up 18 points among independent voters over Biden. And in the newest, just came out, echelon poll, the echelon poll of swing states, we're trouncing Biden by 7 points, and the big new premise poll, we're beating Biden by 43 to 39, with DeSantis losing to Biden 33 to 38. In other polls, I'm leading Biden by 6, 7, 8, and 11 points, while DeSantis is losing to Biden in every single case. And when asked, and this is very important because it's the economy, stupid, right? It's the economy, stupid. We've heard that line for a long time, and there's a lot of truth to it. But I think in this case, there's a lot of truth to borders, and there's a lot of truth to militaries and not doing what we did in Afghanistan because we have an incompetent leader. Getting out was fine. Getting out with dignity and strength, not stupid. The stupid and most embarrassing thing ever in our country's history. When asked who's the best to improve the economy, it's Trump, 54, to DeSantis, 18. In Iowa, we're leading 55 to 11. In New Hampshire, great state, we're leading 59 to 12. And in South Carolina, we're leading 65 to 10. And we're leading by a similar number in Nevada. We're doing great. Nevada came out, it's like 65 to 10. We're leading by a lot, and we're going to keep it that way. You know, the characters in the back, oh, they got some beauties back there. They got some real, they have one very good one, though, actually. One is a lot, but they got some beauties. But, you know, they were saying you always have an ebb and flow, right? So you're leading, like right now we're leading by a lot. A lot of people say DeSantis is dropping out of the race. I don't know that that's true, but I wouldn't be surprised. He should. Because I think he's absolutely killed himself for 28, you know? But remember the loyalty thing. He wouldn't be there except for me. And then he said, I have no comment. And we know what that meant. No comment means he's running, but he's really hurt himself. But I hear he's dropping out, but I will say this. We're gonna make this country so strong. We're gonna make our country so great. We're gonna have so many victories again. We had victories. We didn't have wars. Russia respected us. Putin respected me. Putin would never have gone into Ukraine if I were, but never, ever, ever. I know him very well. You know, the fake news hates when I say I know him well. They hate when I say I got along with him. No, it's good to get along. They have more nuclear weapons than us, or just about the same, but a little more than us. Can you imagine that? They have big nuclear. Nobody ever talks about that. They talk about the war. They never mention that. And it's a very dangerous position to be in. We're in a very stupid, dangerous position right now. And you know what? If Europe doesn't start paying for this, can you imagine with us being at 200 billion and them being at 25 billion? Can you imagine? How stupid are we? We can't have this. But Putin would have never gone in. And it was the apple of his eye. I talked to him about it a lot. I said, Vladimir, don't do it. And then I said things to him that you don't want to know, but I said, it's going to really be bad. It's going to be so bad for you if you do it. And he never did it. He said, you wouldn't do that. I said, yes, I will. He said, you wouldn't do that. I said, yes, I will. I'm telling you, I will. And he didn't believe me, but you know what? He believed me 10%. That's all he needed. That's all he needed, 10%. And you know what I'm talking about, the three of you, but you know exactly what I'm talking about. Same thing with President Xi in Taiwan. You look at what he's got, ships circling, he's got planes. They didn't have planes flying over Taiwan. They didn't have ships with me. And I told them, don't do it. If you do it, it's going to be really bad. It's going to be so bad you have no idea. And again, look, we're 9,500 miles away. They're 70 miles away. Okay? They're 70 miles. But I don't want it on my watch. Wouldn't have been on my watch, I tell you right now. And I said to him very strongly, I said, don't do it, because if you do it, here's what's going to happen. He said, no way. I said, way. He said, no, you won't do it.
How do y'all not let us do, man? How do y'all not let us
The
do?
Democrats agreed that if I were president, there would not have been Ukraine attack, and there would not have been this thing going on with
No way.
Taiwan
Way.
right now. A lot of them agree. But he was very much the same as Putin. Just we used the name of different cities. That's all we used. Different cities, different places. He said, no way you wouldn't do that. I said, no, I will, I tell you. And he didn't believe me, but he also believed me 10%. But I tell the story about France. They were going to put a big tax on the United States. We're going to tax their country. You know, France is difficult. Macron is a great guy. I think he's a great guy, but, you know, he's a wise guy. And I said, tell you what you do, give it to Mnuchin. See if you can negotiate, because we're not going to have our companies pay tax. A big tax, by the way. If you're an American company, you do business in France, they want to tax the company. I said, that's not fair. Now, do you think Biden would think that? Biden wouldn't think at all about it, because, by the way, they're now imposing it on Biden. So I gave them 2 weeks. I said, do it. I don't want that tax on. That's bullshit. And you know what? They went out, came back, sir. They've passed it, and I don't think there's any stopping it. I said, why do you say that? I got 2 more days. They came back. We can't stop it. I called up Macron. I said, Mr. President, oh yes, Donald, I like you so much. I said, thank you so much. And I do. I get along great with the guy. He's liberal, but that's okay. I get along great with the president of Mexico. He's a socialist, but I have a lot of respect for him. We did great things. Gave us 28,000 soldiers free of cost to stop people from coming into our country. But I said to Macron, you can't put the tax. Oh, Donald, I'm sorry. I have already done this, just passed the equivalent of our legislature. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry, but I have done this. I said, no, you haven't. Oh, no, you don't understand. Yes, I have. I said, no, you haven't done it. Because if you have done it, I am going to impose a 100% tax tariff on all wines and champagnes coming into the United States from France. And he said, no, Donald, no, you cannot do that. That would not be fair. And I said, no, that would be very fair. Every single bottle of your crap that comes into this country will have a 100% tax, champagnes and wines. You have 5 minutes to tell me what you want to do. I will call you back. Calls me back in 2 minutes. We have decided to end the tax on American companies. Now, do you think anybody, and now they're putting that tax on, by the way, just so you know, there's nobody fighting it. How about Cuba? I got a tremendous Cuban vote in Florida, tremendous Cuban vote. China is building military places and forts and everything, installations. They're building military in Cuba, 71 miles off our coast. And the fake news doesn't even talk about it. When I heard this, and for Cuban Americans, with that happening, you can forget about ever going back to Cuba. China's taking over Cuba. And Biden doesn't do anything. The reason he doesn't, because he's compromised. He's taken in so much money from China that he's afraid, because they know how much money they've given, and he can't have them reveal that to the courts and to Congress and to Jim Jordan and Jamie Comer. He can't have them reveal. So he's sitting there. He's a totally compromised president. He is a Manchurian candidate, okay? Now think of it. Can you believe they are building military installations in Cuba? And hardly anybody. When I heard that about 3 months ago, I said, this is the biggest story. This is going to blow up. There's no way. I will get them out within 48 hours. I think within 48 hours. They will leave. And I have a very good relationship with President Xi, which was greatly disturbed with the China virus. I must be honest with you. Before that, you know, we made the greatest trade deal ever with China. They buy $50 billion worth of our product. and we took in, hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs. No other president took in 10 cents. Hundreds of billions. We did great with China, but I had a lot of respect for him. He had a lot of respect for me, and a lot of respect for our country. They no longer respect our country. You saw Janet Yellen the other day bowing. Can't do that. They don't respect that. They want to deal with toughness. They want to deal with strength, and that's the only way you're going to make a deal with them. They are ripping our country to pieces. They're beating us economically. China was going to take over in 2018. For 25 years, the economists will tell you, for 25 years they've been saying China will overtake the United States in 2018. And it was happening, it was going to happen in 2018 until I came along. We doubled them up. We put taxes and tariffs on steel. They were dumping steel. We put 100% and 50% tariffs on steel. And we saved the people that like me the most in this country are people that have steel. Anything to do with steel, because we wouldn't have one open steel mill. If we had to fight a war, we need steel. If we have to fight a war with China, we need steel. You know who we need the steel from? China. Let's go. We're fighting a war with China. Let's buy our steel from China. How does that work? No, we did a great job. We had the greatest economy in history. We're crushing Biden in the swing states in Georgia, in Arizona, and Ohio. We're up by a lot. We're up by a lot. And up by a lot in North Carolina. Those numbers just came in. We're up by a lot in North Carolina, up by 8 points. A poll just came out a little while ago. We're leading DeSanctimonious in Iowa by plus 30 points, in New Hampshire by plus 32 points, and in North Carolina by 34 points. And a poll just came out in Ohio, the great state of Ohio. I love Ohio. Where I'm leading by 52 points and beating Biden by 10 points. 10 points. It's a lot. And I think it's time, and I say this from strength, not from weakness, believe me. I think it's time for Ron DeSanctimonious and so many of those other clowns on the street. Now you had to see Iowa. They're speaking to people that aren't even listening, they're talking. They're waiting for me, I have to say. They're waiting for me to come up. I spoke last, but they're waiting for me to come up. But for Ron DeSanctimonious and so many others that are wasting hundreds of millions of dollars that Republicans should be using to build a massive vote-gathering operation to take on crooked Joe Biden in November, because we cannot lose. We cannot allow our country to lose that election. If we do lose that election, I don't think we have a country anymore. I'll be honest. You see what's going on. Millions and millions of people pouring across our border, invading our country. They're invading our country. I put in legislation and I put in many different things, but you have to be well if you come in. You can't have a disease that you can give to other people. People are pouring across the border now. Disease-ridden people, again, and I say it over and over, people from mental institutions, from insane asylums, they say, please, sir, don't use the word insane asylum. Why? Because that's like Silence of the Lambs stuff. But they're coming into our country. People from jails and prisons, they're coming into our country, and terrorists are coming into our country. But they say, don't use these words. I say, we have to use these words. There was an article, and you may have heard me tell this story once or twice probably, it's all, but an article in one of the newspapers where the people are right there, and it was about a psychiatrist, I guess you'd call him, and he was heading up a mental institution in a South American country, big country, and he said, beautiful article in one sense, because he was a real hard worker. He said, all my life I've worked so hard, I've worked 24 hours a day, and I just worked so hard, I was so busy. We couldn't keep up with all of the people that had such difficulty. And now he was sitting there reading a newspaper, he had nothing to do. And they said, what's the difference? He said, all of our people have been emptied out into the United States. Think of that, think of what that means. All of these people who are very ill, who are very sick people. These are mentally ill people. They've been emptied out. Now you take thousands of institutions like that, And they all are, because I know these leaders of these countries. They're very street smart. They're very smart people. They know what they're doing. They're at the top of their game. We have somebody that's not at the top of his game, never was at the top of a game. Never was. We have a guy who's a dumb son of a bitch, and to allow this to happen.
He's the only one that can say that and get away with
Every
it.
dollar spent attacking me by Republicans is a dollar given straight to the Biden campaign if he makes it. I don't know if he's going to make it. Who thinks he's going to be the candidate? So, ready? Are we going to be running against Joe Biden or somebody else, okay? Who do you think? I mean, just out of curiosity. Okay, ready? Biden first. Are we going to be running against Biden? Are we going to be running against somebody else? Yeah, a lot of people feel that. See? I just saved $300,000 to poll. See these pollsters? They interviewed 203 people. They charge you $700,000. And that poll is much better than a poll done by a pollster, in my opinion. The Republican Party must be united against the Marxists, communists, fascists, and globalists. I promise you this, if you put me back in the White House, their reign will be over and America will be a free nation once again. We're going to have a free nation.
USA.
Going tonight with some real warriors. And they've been warriors, I'll tell you. Mike used to stand out, we'd have rallies and...
The new season of Big Brother, Wednesday at 8/7 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount Plus.
And we 30 freezing. He standing out there without even an undershirt. He's standing out. I didn't think his body would look, to be honest with you. Stand out freezing. Remember that? I said, what the hell? He's a tough guy. He's a warrior. You have two people here, current congressmen, Dan Newsom and Mike Kelly. These are incredible, incredible people, and they're going to help us win the state along with Fred Keller, a former representative. Come up here, will you fellas? What the hell? We have all day, right? It's Saturday. We have nothing to do. We took an arena instead of stage. Yeah, we did. This was going to be an outside deal. Cost us a hell of a lot less money. But we said it's going to be 98 degrees. You know how hot it is outside? And we have all these beautiful people up front. And we said, let's do it this way. Come on up here, fellas. Come on up. Come on up. They're great people. These are fighters. They know how to fight. They're tougher than Democrats, but we have a lot of them that aren't, unfortunately. Mike, say a couple of words, please.